Good morning, everyone. I always say this because it's true. You could have been anywhere this morning and you chose to be here, and we thank you so much for being here at City Hall in the city of Lowell, commemorating Juneteenth 2025. I thank the city and case office for setting this event up, and I thank the weather for being non-cooperative to host this event outside, yet cooperative enough to naturally water our gardens and food for life. Let us pause for a moment of silence in reverence for those who walked before us, whose footsteps have shaped the earth beneath ours, whose dreams we carry in our breath, whose strength still echoes in our bones. May their wisdom guide us, may their sacrifices never be forgotten, and may we honor their legacy with purpose, justice, and love. I will now play from my phone, as I've seen others do, so I'm trying to get up with technology. Lift Every Voice and Sing, also known as the Black National Anthem, sung by Alicia Keys. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I mean, I didn't sing the song, but thank you. So let's get into it. I did write a speech so that I'm able to remember and recall to say all the things that I think are important to say on this Juneteenth. I understand today is not Juneteenth, but this is in commemoration of Juneteenth 2025. I Googled before I came here, and it was just reported by CNN that across the United States of America, cities are scaling back Juneteenth celebrations after Trump-era DEI rollbacks. Despite Juneteenth's status as a federal holiday, celebrations across the country are being scaled back or canceled. Organizers say safety issues, along with mounting resistance to diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, are making it harder to hold events, raising concerns that political backlash is threatening the commemoration of Black freedom at a time when experts say is most needed. We too are affected by this. This year, for our Juneteenth, we chose to hold it indoors. I was honestly a little scared to have it outside just because I don't know what's going to happen. So when the rain happened and the city of Lowell said, hey, host it inside, I was more happy with that. This is a different time, and we should all be vigilant. Today we gather to commemorate Juneteenth, a day of truth, of memory, of joy, and of struggle. June 19, 1865 marks the moment when enslaved Black people in Galveston, Texas finally learned they were free, 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation. That delay reminds us freedom is not always granted when it's declared. It is often something we must fight to secure and constantly work to protect. Juneteenth is not just about history. It's a mirror for our present and a window into our political future. As we celebrate, we must also reflect. What does freedom mean in today's political climate? In the United States, we face a time when the very telling of our history is under siege. From book bans that target Black authors and LGBTQ voices to curriculum laws that aim to sanitize the realities of slavery and systematic racism, we are reminded the struggle for freedom includes the right to truth. Freedom without education is fragile. Justice without truth is false. And celebration without awareness is hollow. We gather here in Lowell, Massachusetts, a city that played a role in America's Industrial Revolution. But Lowell's mills and factories also tell the story of resistance and reform, of working class women, including many Irish and immigrant women, organizing for better conditions. Today, that legacy lives on through Black women, immigrant women, and other marginalized voices continuing to lead. Across our country, and right here in Lowell, we are witnessing a rise in political polarization with increasing attempts to erase or distort Black history, banning books, silencing teachers, diluting voting rights. This is why Juneteenth is not just about celebration, it's about vigilance. It's about reclaiming the full American story and recognizing that freedom delayed is still freedom denied. We can't talk about liberation in America without recognizing its global echoes. Around the world, movements continue to resist imperialism, inequality, and oppression. One such figure, who I hold to my heart, I've met her in person, Dr. Arikana Chihombori-Quao. She's a Zimbabwe-born physician, diplomat, and activist known for her work in promoting African unity and empowering the African diaspora. She served as the African Union's permanent representative to the United States from 2016 to 2019. How are you permanent? From 2016 to 2019. We can talk to our political environment about that. Where she advocated for stronger ties between Africa and its diaspora. In 2019, she launched the Wakanda One Village Project, aiming to establish centers of excellence across Africa to foster development and engagement with the diaspora. The diaspora are those who no longer reside on the continent, they're just in and amongst the world. Dr. Chihombori-Quao has also been outspoken about the lasting impacts of the 1885 Berlin Conference, which divided Africa among European powers and has called for a reunification of African states to address ongoing challenges. While Juneteenth commemorates a significant moment in African American history, Dr. Chihombori-Quao's focus on the broader Pan-African unity and the empowerment of Africans globally is appreciated. Another figure that I would like to bring to your attention, if you have not heard of this gentleman, you will hear about this gentleman now, and you will probably see him more in the news. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso. In his short time in power, Traoré has positioned himself as a symbol of post-colonial resistance, speaking against foreign exploitation and calling for African self-determination. Now, we can and we should engage critically with every leader, including Traoré, yet his rise reflects a larger truth, that around the world and here in America, younger generations are demanding freedom not just from slavery, but from all forms of domination, economic, military, and cultural. And let us never forget, behind every revolution, at home or abroad, women have always led the way. If you know me, I'll talk about women. Such as Harriet Tubman, Fannie Lou Hamer, Stacey Abrams, Tarana Burke, Ayanna Pressley, Andrea Campbell, and Kim Janey in this state. Women have organized strikes, led marches, built schools, and held families together during centuries of displacement. Here in Lowell, our community includes women of African, Caribbean, Latino, Southeast, Asian, Arab descent who are reshaping our local economy, running for office, and speaking truth in classrooms and boardrooms. We must recognize and uplift their contributions, not just symbolically, but materially, with resources, access, and equity. Juneteenth reminds us that freedom is not a fixed point in history, it's a practice. It requires action, it demands justice, and it thrives in the community. So let us honor the ancestors, not just with words, but with movement, with organizing, with solidarity, and with an unwavering belief that no matter how complex or divided a world we may feel, liberation remains possible if we dare to claim it. Today, I ask each of us how we will carry this work forward. And I'm looking at each of you to determine how each of us will carry this work forward. We will show up for school boards. Will we show up for school board meetings when history is under attack? Will we support the woman-run business on our block? Will we defend our neighbors facing eviction or unlawful and/or unjust immigration practices? Will we speak out when police accountability is lacking? Yes. Will we vote not just for representation, but for transformation? Juneteenth is not just a history lesson. It's a living, breathing call to action. This political environment, most recently since January 2025, is the time where those who stand with us must ensure positive action. Your action does not have to be public. We understand the implications there. We know that some choose to do the work and are doing the work under the cover of safety and protection, and they are focused. Let us honor the past by building a present, a better present. Let us listen to the wisdom of our elders and trust the vision of our youth. Because freedom is not given, it is taken. It is built, it is protected, and it is shared. Thank you to the City of Lowell and all of you who came out today. This program, again, was intentionally kept short, as mentioned before, so we can honor Juneteenth, yet also get back to the important work of positive transformation and protection. I would also like to thank the Black Lowell Coalition, Swing by Swing Social Fellowship Incorporated, Blacks in Government, and Christ Church United for hosting and assisting our Juneteenth events held this Saturday where we held documentaries, and Sahel for the delicious catering, as well as Church United, United Church, Christ Church United, excuse me, as we're having a Reentering the Conversation tomorrow at 6 p.m. And we'll discuss critical events around Juneteenth. So happy Juneteenth. We're going to keep moving forward together, and I will turn it over to our mayor.
Thank you very much for your words and for organizing today's event and the celebration. And you said, today is not just a celebration, it's a day to educate, it's a day to get engaged and to move, and to make positive gestures, positive attribution to the city and to those that don't know. 160 years ago today, slavery was still part of our country. It wasn't until tomorrow where it officially ended in Texas. But again, 160 years ago, it was not that long ago. Maybe in human life it is, but even going past Juneteenth, we talked about voting rights, equality, the ability to get a job, to get an education. It took a lot longer than after Juneteenth to get to a stage where we are today. And the work is still not complete. We work every day here in the City of Lowell to help those that want to come and to live and to work, to raise their families here in the city. We're very proud of all the opportunities that we offer here in the City of Lowell, and that will continue. It's something that we have made our foundation on, is welcoming all to the City of Lowell, and that will not change. I can promise you that here today. We do have with us today State Representative Howard. Thanks for being here today. Vice Mayor Paul Raffaele. This is a sign of getting old myself. Jacqueline, I do have a proclamation to read, but I do not have my readers today. So the Vice Mayor has decided to volunteer. This is big enough. I can see that far away. The closer I get, the worse my eyesight is. And the last couple of council meetings, a little test. $5 a CBS, right? So, without further ado, I welcome our Vice Mayor Paul Raffaele.
Mr. Mayor, join the club. Before I read the proclamation, may I want to share with you, a few years back, I brought my family, my children, to Oak Valley Plantation in New Orleans. In there, we witnesses all the slave houses and then the big mansion of the owner of the plantation. And then we talked about what they are, the slave houses, and we see all the pots and pans that were preserved just like the time that they were there. And this reminds me of what Mom Beth was talking about here behind me. And may I read her statement? Anytime while I was slave, if 1 minute freedom had been offered to me and had been told I must die at the end of that minute, I would have taken it just to stand 1 minute on God's earth, a free woman, I would. And this reminds me of during the Khmer Rouge, the killing field, that people lived in slavery under the communists. And I'm told the same sentiment. They look up the sky, they want to be free for 1 minute, or have a small piece of food they would like to eat, that they will die after that and willing to. So Mom Beth's word touched a lot and touched all of us who came here to America from Cambodia. And here's the proclamation. By his honor, Daniel P. Wook made a proclamation, whereas today we proudly raise the flag in recognition of Juneteenth, National Independence Day, a historical milestone marking the end of slavery in the United States. On June 19, 1865, more than 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, the last enslaved African American in Galveston, Texas were finally free, signifying the true end of the slavery in our nation. And whereas Juneteenth is both a celebration of freedom and a solemn reflection on our country's history of slavery, it is a time to honor the strength, resilience, and the endurance contribution of the Black community, while also acknowledging the injustice of the past. True progress requires remembrance, recognition, and a collective commitment to build a more just and equitable society. Though we have made strides toward equality, the work is far from finished. And whereas the city of Lowell extends its deepest gratitude to the Black community in our cities and beyond, their invaluable contribution to the cultural, social, and economic fabrics of the city have helped shape a strong and more vibrant community. Now I hereby call the Thayam Vice Mayor on behalf of Mayor P. Wook, the entire City Council, and the residents of Lowell, do hereby proclaim June 19, 2025 a Juneteenth National Independence Day, and encourage all the residents to take part, given this 19th day of June 2025 by Mayor Daniel P. Wook. Before that, may I ask Representative Van Havel to join us?
One, two, three.
If anyone else would like to come up and speak or say any words, please, I'm going to back away from the podium.
Well, hello, everybody. Listen,
I want to see you late. I want to see you late.
never let anybody talk down about our city. Lowell is a wonderful city. And I got the tad state when I say every time. I was born into segregation. I lived segregation. And thank you, Lord, I came through segregation. There are a lot of other places that are still trying to work some things out. Lowell might not have it all figured out, but we are further down the road than a lot of other places. So you don't let anybody say anything about our city. I am so grateful to be a part of it. We've been here about 52 years. I know I don't look any more than 52. And it's been a great place to be. And I'm so proud that I'm able to see other young people from our community, yes, the Lowell community, but I've got to be personal, from the Black community, who have stepped forward to still carry the banner. They say that in the gospel song, you know, my mother was a soldier. She had a hand on the gospel plow. But one day she got old and she couldn't fight anymore. But she didn't have to worry because there were people who were going to stand and fight anyhow. So I thank you so much. Of course, to our mayor and other city council members and our state rep and other leaders who are present. But more importantly, I thank you as citizens for doing this. And one day, you may not remember my name. Just remember that you were here for this. Because it's not about me, it's about you, and it's about your children. So no matter what's going on in the world right now, just make certain that you're cleaning up around your own back porch. Just be certain that you're doing what you're supposed to do to make sure that this maintains itself as a better place for your children. And don't you ever forget, I don't care what you look like, don't you ever forget your history. No matter how many books might be burned, taken out of schools or whatever, it's not about that. It's about you telling your story. And always remain proud of where you came from. And don't ever forget, your parents and their parents came through something. Don't think you're so mighty and so successful that you can forget that. Because you're only standing here today because they endured. Thank you.
That was Miss Laura. Anyone else? All right, ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our program. We will get with Mr. Jim Noel to raise the flag outside. Let's go outside.
Oh my, I failed to mention, and now I'm going to mention now, that we have the Massachusetts Pirates amongst us. I apologize. We welcome you. We are glad that you're here, and we will be at your game. If you have the tickets, though. Miss Fanon?
I got Laura
Actually,
Smith.
can y'all come over here
Laura
also?
Smith. Yeah, you too. Join us.
Do you need me to help you without the... Oh! Was that a All right, so can y'all do this then, and I'll just stand to the side.
Hey, hold on one second. Let me get the photo.
I'm gonna stand to the
Miss
side.
Laura
She's gonna stand there. All right, we're good.
All right.
All right, so
Let me
you
get the
have to...
photo first. Let me get the photo first, all right?
We're gonna look at the picture first.
Everyone
We
look
have
right
a
here for the
picture.
camera for me, right here. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
All right, and now you can raise it. And this is our indoor football league for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Thank you for coming. Yes, tell me your name.
Dominic,
Last name.
we won. Yeah.
All right.
Hi, I'm Ned.
4.
I'm new here. This actually not my number.
That's all right. That's all right.
Nice to meet y'all. Thank you for that.
Don't leave because I want to get my own phone. Or can you take pictures? No, back here. Nope. Alberto Jose, you. Come on over here. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.